Welcome back to another episode of Pay It Forward. In this video, we'll be talking about your timeline for applying to dental school. My name is 𝔻𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕝𝕃𝕪𝕗𝕣. Today with us is Fernanda, Brian, and Peter. Let's get started.
Look out! Pop, it's showtime. Guess who's back again?
So welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the timeline for applying to dental school. This is a guide for any pre-dental student applying any cycle. Hello, my name is 𝔻𝕟𝕟𝕟𝕝𝕃𝕪𝕗𝕣. I'm a third-year dental student at ATSU ASDO in Arizona. This is my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube, DentalLyfe. These are some of my responsibilities here at ASDO and a little bit of background about myself. Here with us is Brian, Fernanda, and Peter.
Hey guys, my name is Brian Ibrahim. I will be an incoming D1 student in the fall of 2021. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Neuroscience from University of California, Riverside in 2019. And this is my email and Instagram. Feel free to contact me.
Hello, my name is Fernanda Silva Zelaya. I am a third year at UCLA School of Dentistry. Here is my contact information, some of my background, some of the things that I do at UCLA. Feel free to contact me.
Hello everyone, my name is Peter George. I'm a pre-dental student applying to dental schools this cycle. I graduated with a degree in health sciences in 2020. Here's my email and Instagram if you guys have any questions about applying.
Disclaimer, this video will be talking about our own experiences, so feel free to use it at your own discretion. This is only a guide, not a guarantee. If you guys have been following the DentalLyfe YouTube channel, these are the videos that my team and I have made in the past. Make sure you check out the 𝐓𝐢𝐬𝐩𝐢𝐴𝑠 dental application overview, how to write a solid personal statement, part 1 and part 2. This video will talk about how to request a letter of evaluation or recommendation from your professors, dentists, and etc. In this video, we'll talk about how to choose the right dental school. Make sure to check out our most recent videos about the DET preparation. This is the first video of a series of videos where we discussed how to prepare for the dental admissions test. Also consider checking out our other new videos where we talk about the DET resources and overview. My team and I give advice on how to prepare for the DET. So this is DentalLyfe's timeline into dental school. So this is my recommendation, how to prepare for applying to dental school. We're going to walk you through a year's worth of hard work and dedication to hopefully receive that acceptance. So in order to start dental school in the fall of the upcoming year. So here we go. So starting in January and February, you will study for the DET. It takes about 3 months to study for the DET. You should start writing a rough draft of your personal statement and consider writing a disadvantage statement if you have anything that is considered disadvantage about yourself. Let's check out one of our amazing videos where we'll discuss how to write a personal statement and disadvantage statement. I'm going to have a link to that video on the bottom in the description. Consider attending your professor's office hours. And once you attend office hours, this is a good opportunity to build rapport with your professor and ask them for research opportunity. And down the line, also ask them for letter of recommendations. Also find a shadowing experience. So there's a lot of dentists that allow pre-dental students to come in and shadow them without any prior dental experience or certification or licenses. So make sure you reach out to your local dentist and find that opportunity. And then recently, because of COVID, there are some resources out there where they offer virtual shadowing. So make sure you look into that. I'm gonna have a link to a couple resources in the bottom in the description. And also because of COVID and how it affected the dental school application cycle, my team and I also did a video where we talk about how the pandemic affected the dental school application cycle and the dental profession in general. And then that brings us to March. In March, you should be ready to take your DET. And then at that point, after you're done with your DET, revise your personal statement and your disadvantage statement if you choose to write a disadvantage statement. So this is also a good opportunity to request more research opportunities and letter of recommendations from the professors that you attended the office hours with. And then this is also a good opportunity to go out and seek community service opportunities during your spring break. And then that brings us to May. So in May, you should start your primary, or it's also commonly known as the 𝐓𝐢𝐬𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐻 application. So the application portal, it's an online portal If you guys need advice, I'm gonna have a link to the series of videos where we talk about all the advice that's necessary to apply for dental school, and it's basically a walkthrough through the 𝐻𝐬𝐽𝐽 portal. So the portal itself opens mid-May, and then it allows you the opportunity to create an account, log in, and fill out your basic information, address, your name, and birthdays, all the common information that's necessary for any general application. And then another thing that you can fill out is your experiences and your community service hours. So that is something that you should be tallying up until this point. Some schools need a certain amount of community service hours or shadowing or any sort of specific experience. So make sure you look into that specific school that you're applying to. This is a good opportunity to make sure that your personal statement and disadvantage statement, if you choose to write a disadvantage statement, is finalized and proofread 100 times if needed. But at one point, you need to make sure that it's still your own personal statement, that it's not too modified or too edited. Make sure you check out our personal statement video for a lot of advice and tips on how to write a solid personal statement and disadvantage statements. And that brings us to June. So in June, make sure you choose your top dental schools that you should apply to. And then if you guys need help, make sure you email me and I'll send you my Getting into Dental School guide. And it shows all the stats for all the dental schools as far as the GPA and then the DET scores. And if you guys fall into that range, then you should highly consider applying to that school. So that way you're not wasting your time. So email me and I'll send you a copy of that for free. In June, you will be eligible to officially submit the 𝐻𝐬𝐽𝐽 application. So at this point, you should have the 𝐻𝐬𝐽𝐽 application completed and e-submitted and paid for at that time. Also, consider that you only need one school in order to submit and get the 𝐻𝐬𝐽𝐽 application verified. You don't need all 20 schools that you're applying to or so. You only need one school attached to your application in order to get everything verified as far as the transcripts and all that, in order to get the ball rolling. And then throughout and all the way until February of the following year, you can always add schools as you go and as finances become available to you. Speaking of finances, at the beginning of June, ADIA 𝐻𝐬𝐽𝐽 allows pre-dental students to apply for something called the FAB, the Fee Assistance Program, which is basically an opportunity to give you a fee waiver to apply for a couple dental schools for free. So I'm gonna have a link to that video in the description, so make sure you check that out. Also, this is the time where you request the official transcripts from your teaching institutions. Also, this is the time to retake the DET if you didn't do well the first time. So that brings us to August until September. So this is a time where you receive the secondary or supplemental applications from each school that you apply to. So that varies from school to school. We also have a video in my Pay It Forward playlist on YouTube where we go through the entire process of your secondary and supplemental applications. So make sure you check that out. And then this is the time where the first academic update gets sent out. This is basically a time where, let's say you increased your shadowing hours, your experience hours, or you took more classes, or you retook the DET. This is a time that you let the schools that you apply to know that you done so. Also, August all the way through September, the dental school interviews begin, and then you will get them depending on your stats and just overall your application in general. And then this is a good time to also retake the DET for the third time if need be. Notice that every time you take the DET, you cannot retake it until 3 months have passed by. So take that into consideration, and that's why I'm sprinkling throughout this cyclic timeline, a good opportunity at 3 months increments of you retaking the DET. Hopefully you get it done the first time. And this is why we're making the new series for the DET preparation, to make sure that you take the DET once and then get it out of the way and do well on it. That brings us to December. So in December, it's decision day or D-Day. This is your opportunity to celebrate that you got accepted in the dental school. So that does not mean the end of the world if you didn't get that acceptance or the phone call or the email from that specific school. If you don't get accepted or you don't get accepted to the school that you really wanted to get accepted to, this is your time to send a letter of interest, basically saying how much you like that school and how much you and the school are compatible, their mission, their views on dentistry and healthcare match yours. So basically you're trying to sell yourself to that program. And then this is also the time to retake any classes where you got C minuses in. Most dental schools will basically reject any students that have C minuses, especially if they are in the major sciences. You will not be highly ranked on their list of considerations, basically. And then this is also the time where you get waitlisted. Basically, each school either calls it alternate list or waitlisted. And basically, the applicant is good, but not good enough. But they prefer to give the seat at that dental school to someone else that is a better applicant. So let's say that student drops out of that seat and that seat becomes available, then they bring people off of that wait list. So this is the opportunity to make sure that you show that school that you got waitlisted how much you need that seat, so that way they take you into consideration. That brings us to December all the way until February. So the 𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐽 portal sends out the second academic update. This is basically the time where you tell them, okay, I took or retook these certain classes at that university or college, and these were my grades. I increased my community service hours, my shadowing hours. I participated in that event and this event. And then that basically shows them that you're always active. It's not submitting your application and then forgetting about it. Dental schools look at the academic updates to make sure that the student is proactive and it's always something new that they're bringing to the table, not just got accepted and that's it, or apply to the DET and that's it. You're supposed to be active and proactive about your application cycle. So that brings us to 𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐽 closing down at the end of February, beginning of March. So that means the 𝐻𝐢𝐬𝐽 cycle has come to a conclusion. You can't add anything, you can't edit anything. And this is the time to send out a letter of interest. So let's say you got an interview at that time and you got waitlisted or you haven't heard back. This is your time to send out each school that you got that status from, how much you really want them to consider you and to accept you. You can call, you can send a letter, you can send a letter and call. I highly recommend you do both, because they already know you, they already interviewed you, so you made it up to this point. You are good enough. They just need to find a seat that's available and the roster to bring you on board. And then interviews continue all the way until matriculation, which is basically first day of school. And then at that time, it's December all the way to February. A lot of schools ask you to submit a deposit to make sure that they hold that seat for you. So if you forget about the deposit, that seat becomes available and that dental school brings people off of the wait list to fill in your seat and you lost your acceptance. So make sure that you submit the deposits by the due date. And then that brings us all the way to the next cycle. So this is basically an entire year and a half of a lot of work, all leading up to this point, which is the class of 20 whatever matriculation. And that's when you get your white coat ceremony and you officially become a student doctor and start your 3-year or 4-year dental program. So all this hard work will eventually pay off. You just need to be committed. You have to have some sort of timeline. For me, I didn't have any timeline. I was just guessing. I was always late. I wish someone created something like this to kind of guide me, but it wasn't available. And that's why I are creating this to help you guys out. So with that being said, you guys have any advice that you can give?
I would recommend you to create a motivation board. So it's kind of like to create like a little collage of the stuff that you want to do. It really helps because when you're like doing this application, it can be very frightening, it can be very discouraging sometimes, especially if this is not your first time applying. So it will help you that so you can like look at it, and while you're doing like any activity of this board, it can help you to be like, okay, everything will be fine, I need to do this. So that will be one of my motivation advice that you can use.
So personally, I did not have this timeline exactly, but I did work something similar to it and it worked out well. Just the fact that having a due date for everything made me want to work harder to make sure I'm done by that due date. Thankfully, I followed it very similar to this chart, and it worked well for me. So consider doing that also if you think they'll work for you.
I think this is a really great guide. I'm someone that likes to be very organized and likes to have timelines. So I think this PowerPoint slide here kind of sums up the whole cycle in a nutshell. It tells you month by month, so you're prepared and you know exactly what you're doing each month. And you're not just waiting around or feel like you're missing something. So please pay attention. Make sure you're following these steps, and hopefully you get into dental school.
Thank you for the advice. I know I mentioned this in multiple videos, but in case this is your first time watching, I took the DT 3 times and I applied to dental school twice. So I went through the cycle a couple times, and if I had to do it a third time and take the DT a fourth time, I would do it just like how I have it laid out for you guys. Make sure if you have any questions, our email are at the beginning of this presentation. So best of luck, and remember to pay it forward. Thank you so much for watching this video. We have dedicated a lot of time and energy into producing these videos and putting it out there for free to use it. Most of us have made a lot of mistakes getting where we are, and we want to spread awareness and make sure that other people don't make the same silly mistakes that we made. I have made a lot of mistakes myself. I believe like there is value and there's a lot to learn from my mistakes, and that's why I'm being transparent. Please support us, share this video, and let us know if you have any questions in the comments. My team with me today is Fernanda, Brian, and Peter. Go ahead and speak on the Pay It Forward mission, please.
The reason I joined is because Sama and I got to know each other. He told me about his idea of Pay It Forward, which for me, I didn't really have a lot of help. A lot of stuff I had to figure out on my own. I'm so happy that you get these resources so this can be as easy and as less painful experience as possible, and you get to dental school.
What brought you back? Because you did the other videos with me. Like this is your second time around.
The reason I came back is because the DAT is something very close to my heart. I study, and yes, I only took it once, but then afterwards I taught for Kaplan DAT courses, and also I taught other courses like SAT and ACT, and so for that reason, like I know how difficult it can be. I've seen friends that went through the entire process and still didn't get it, and maybe they're still like studying for it. So for that reason, I wanted to like give these resources so you are able to get where you need to get.
I joined the Pay It Forward team because during my application process and applying to dental school in general, Sameh was there to give me advice. So he knew how I felt because he was a pre-dental student at some point. And I decided to join because it's a good feeling to have someone there that's willing to help you and share whatever they have with you just so you can get into dental school. That's the main reason why I joined the Pay It Forward. So I hope you guys are able to help others, not just with dentistry, with anything in your life. Any experience could mean a lot to others. So that's why I joined the Pay It Forward team.
I decided to actually join this team because I was invited. I was very thankful to be invited by and actually meet Sama. Recently just met him and kind of came across him through YouTube by Googling or searching dental school admissions. And I saw something in him that was unique from other YouTube videos. He had a journey that was similar to mine. He's an immigrant to this country and, you know, is Middle Eastern. So there was some relation that I had to him, someone that I could look up to that's giving motivating advice and most importantly being transparent with everybody. So these videos, he's being upfront and honest and mostly talks from experience because he's been there and, you know, he's gone through it. So he doesn't want you guys to make these mistakes. You know, even during this cycle, there's so much that I've learned and so much that he's taught me. If he's paying it forward, you know, giving back to the community, why can't I do that? You know, if he's giving that reaching hand to me and I'm accepting it, I want to be able to do the same thing. So once you get to the top, don't forget to send the elevator back down, no matter what level you're at. So that's something Sameh's doing, and hopefully I can do the same as well.
Thank you guys so much for sweet words. You guys are too kind. I just wanted to make sure that I put my heart out there and tell whoever is watching this video that I sincerely thank Fernanda, Brian, and Peter. This is the second time that we are recording this video, and this disclaimer is gonna make it into the official video. They spent 3 hours recording this video and we had technical difficulty, so they were willing to come back and dedicate 3 hours to re-record the video again. And Peter, in Michigan, it's like what, 2 o'clock there right now in the morning. But this is the capacity, this is the level of dedication that my team and I are willing to put out there for you guys. So please, if you're interested in joining our Pay It Forward team, reach me at DentalLyfe, Instagram, blog, or YouTube, and let me know how I can help you, how I can help you help other people. Because at the end of the day, the dental field and just anything in life, we are weirdly interconnected to one another as just human beings. And it's a small world that we live in. That special human connection that we have together, and it makes us kind to one another. So happy New Year, and hopefully 2021 brings happiness, safety, and joy to everybody. And thank you for watching. These are my social media outlets. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments, if you have any motivating quotes, leave them in the comments, or just a simple thank you to these amazing people that dedicated their time to make this video possible for you guys. I'll see you in the next video.
There's so much strength in you and me, powerful.
So make sure that you comment, like, subscribe, and share, and let this information be spread out and share it with everybody else that can use it. A lot of time has been dedicated to making these quality videos for you, and they have a wealth of knowledge. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you for watching.